Today, I bring you another BMW after a while since I reviewed the BMW M2. This time, it's the legendary four-door sedan that shook the entire car world and BMW enthusiasts. This is the BMW E60 M5, one of the top 3 craziest sedans ever made in the world. Some people watching this video right now may think that this BMW doesn't look all that fast in terms of design, because this appears like a regular sedan you see daily on the road. That's because you may have seen the base 5 series that may appear like the M5 on the road. If you actually look at this E60 M5, the differences are noticeable. The M5 badge, the rims, the bumpers, quad exhausts, and mostly underneath the hood. So, here are interesting facts about why the E60 M5 is the craziest BMW sedan ever made. When BMW was building the successor to the iconic V8 power E39 M5 in the mid-2000s, BMW was clearly much more resistant to the idea of turbocharging than it is today, before new fuel economy regulations settled in after 2010. BMW went super wild and established a purpose-built V10 gasoline engine derived from one of the golden ages of F1, when BMW was building crazy V10s for the Williams F1 team since they started in 2002. At the time, BMW wanted to make a high-performance four-door supercar while not powered by a supercar engine. The engine and transmission were designed from scratch and never was based on other models. Performance sedans did exist back then, but what made the M5 so special was the 500 brake horsepower 5-liter S85 V10, and was the world's first production sedan to use a V10 engine, which was shocking. The E60 M5 was introduced in 2005 and became a great success with big leak improvements over the E39. The M5 sold in production for 5 years until 2010 and sold a total of 20,548 units, with USA being the most successful market. BMW also made a wagon version in the same generation of the E61 M5, which sadly was only sold in Europe. The E63 M6 Coupe released the same year, which shared the same V10 engine and mechanical components from the E60 M5. The V10 engine was linked to a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed SMG gearbox, like in a car with a BMW Sauber F1 program. 500 horses was a big number for a sedan at the time, and even in today's standards of a naturally aspirated engine with 380 pound-feet of torque. This V10 powered sedan flies from 0 to 60 mph in 4.5 seconds and approached to a top speed electronically limited 155 mph. With the mDrivers package, this beast will phenomenally hit the real top speed to 190 mph. That's 10 mph away from getting to 200 mph, but on stock with supercar numbers, which is incredible from 16 years ago, way before the Dodge Charger Hellcat even existed. Today, no mass market would even think of putting a naturally aspirated V10 in a sedan anymore like this, but the S85 revs to freaking 8,250 RPMs. BMW's first and only production V10 powered sedan before they converted to twin-turbo V8s in the upcoming M5s like the F10 and the F90. The E60 M5 sedan is very smooth and subtle from the sides, the hood, and the back. There is not that much going on except with some aggressive tweaks, which makes this BMW more recognizable than BMWs today. Well, the kidney grills do look more acceptable unlike ones on the recent BMWs. The front end bumper look aggressive with the wide V-shaped lower grille edge on the sides by functional scoops to cool the brakes. The front end of this M5 looks very clean and understated. From the side profiles, the front fenders has functional air vents with the M5 badging, and the unique multiple light alloy rims gave the car a sportier look. Viewing this monstrous sedan from the side is hard to distinguish sometimes an E65 series from an M5, if not for the rims and the M5 badging on the air vents. Over the years, the E60 M5 has aged so well from its styling over a half a decade later, and I totally agree with that. I really adore this BMW's design and also all the way around. But in the inside of the M5, I can't say the same that it has aged so well. The interior looks to be from the previous era, which obviously, with one of the weirdest turn signals stocks ever fitted to a car. The entire dashboard is out of date with so many tap buttons, but the E60 M5 do feature some good stuff. The seat comfort is at a good level with leather upholstery throughout the cabin. Features like heated and ventilated seats, dual zone climate control, heating, and air conditioning to keep you comfort. On the center console, there are 3 distinct buttons next to the gear shifter. One is the engine power button. What that button does is unlock the full 500 brake horsepower that this car produces and full RPMs while in M mode. Otherwise, the car is restricted to 400 horsepower on regular driving modes, and even when the engine starts up. DSC button toggles between stability control and EDC buttons difference the suspension for a sportier experience. The M5 has different modes so that drivers don't find themselves into trouble, so they have options to limit at 400 horsepower if they're just cruising on a regular basis and still get over 7,000 RPMs, but the top speed will actually be different and slower than it actually is. This version of the M5 has a 7-speed auto SMG. What SMG means is sequential manual gearbox, and I heard it is easier to work with than with the manual. The manual version was only sold in the United States market. The steering wheel is fitted with regular buttons that you expect from BMW. Behind it is a 2-cluster design with a middle tiny display in the center that tells time, your temperature, the gear that you're in, and the miles driven. The middle dash features the infotainment screen where it is controlled by the iDrive dial on the center console. The M5's front seats is very roomy and also for the rear passengers. Overall, the controls are outdated and doesn't par with newer BMWs or other newer sedans. But behind the steering wheel is the F1 inspired engine button to start the engine, one of the first Beamers to ever have this feature. Moving on to the back of the trunk contains its 18.3 cubic feet of cargo, which is a big size for luggages and the V10 power sedan. Now that I said enough great things about this legendary beast, let's virtually take this thing for a drive and get into the pros and the cons about it. Now, if you don't like supercars as much, but like sedans and wagons with amazing sounding powerful engines to drive every day with a manual stick, the E60 M5 is definitely one of them. But there are definitely downsides about this M5. Before you even think about buying this M5, this remains an extreme special car and the best sounding sedan ever made, but terribly unreliable because of the engine rod bearings will inevitably fail, electrical failures, the clutch, oil pump, and a lot more. And when something do break or the engine self-destructs at any given time, it's crazy expensive to fix, and most E60 M5 models suffer reliability. I did read some guys' comments who own the E60 M5 from other car reviews with warranties confront other people that once you get these expensive issues fixed, the V10 engine will last over 100 to 150,000 miles without any issues with maintenance. But here's the problem. Not enough units of them are reliable nor in a good condition like some E60 M5s. And if you are a BMW guy that owns the M5 and drive the heck out of them, the V10 will eventually break your heart at any given time. It's like it's unpredictable. And some people don't want to ever buy this car because of that. It just happens. It's really difficult to find low mileage and gently driven M5s for sale. So you can imagine why having a platinum warranty on these fragile machines is so critical. Despite all of that, I freaking love the E60 M5 with the legendary V10, and the sound just gives me the chills every time, and I'm gonna be honest, no any other sedan can even come close to sounding this epic in my opinion, with the naturally aspirated V10 revving up to 8,250 RPMs. The M5's handling is stable with a very powerful engine, satisfying to drive and enjoyable when you fire up succeeding over 4,000 RPMs. Then that's when you really start to hear the intensity of the V10. Otherwise, you wouldn't hear it as much if you're just cruising the car on a day-to-day basis. To be real, despite not being the most reliable of cars and having a warranty on this M5, I remain very nervous to own one, and same for the E92 M3, the little brother. Yup, that's right. The E60 M5 and the E92 M3 are like brothers, and both have in common to each other. Why they both are like bros, you may ask? Well, they share the same architecture and construction. Both have one of the best engines ever made by BMW. The E92 M3 is the only 3 series with the V8, and the E60 M5 is the only 5 series with the V10. Now you see, they both are powerful and can reach to insane top speeds over 180 miles per hour. And finally, both are very expensive to maintain to keep on the road and have similar common reliability issues that you have to worry about if you dare to buy one of the best amazing BMWs ever to exist with a warranty. When looking for a used one, make sure that it's been well maintained, well cared for, and driven by a true BMW enthusiast. Then go for it. Because as a BMW fan, I would definitely drive the legendary M5 with the dream sound that it has. The one and the only V10 that I want to hear, and maybe you as well, and then treat it with respect. And now, I'm going to wrap it up here for this legendary car review of the E60 M5 V10. And I hope you guys really did find this video interesting. And if you did, don't forget to hit that like button and make sure to click subscribe. And I'll see you next time for some more upcoming videos of cars like these. And you are more than happy and welcome to give me any car suggestions. Let's virtually walk to the E60 M5 and get inside and put the keys into the ignition and start the engine. Make sure to adjust your headphone volume for the legendary V10 sound. In addition to that, we'll take this thing for a drive around the virtual world of Riverside International Raceway. Peace out.
Mm-hmm.